Welcome to another episode of the Protein Bros Podcast. I am your host, Jeff Wasserman, and is with me, as always, my co-host, Kyle Combs.
What's going on, guys?
We have a very special guest on the podcast today. His name is Tyler. He is the owner of DawgpoundKC. But let's talk a little bit more about where Tyler came from, because it's one of those things where it's not common. Your story is very unique, and so we've had a lot of people who've started a gym on our podcast, for sure, but we haven't had anybody that has your story.
Yep. So thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on, dude. And you were at a barbecue this past weekend, man.
Sweet barbecue.
It was.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Time.
Of course. Of
yeah.
course.
You got sunburnt, probably.
It was your guys' first booth.
First
Is
booth.
that correct?
Yep.
How'd it go for you guys? Did you meet some new friends?
Made some new friends, set the booth up, got the experience, just new stuff.
Yeah,
Tell me about your truck that you pulled up in, because I was super jelly.
So I have this money pit of a Bronco.
Oh,
I
nice.
thought it'd be a good idea. The new ones I didn't like.
So you got an older one?
Old one.
He's got a
that's
19.
awesome.
I got a 75. And so that's
Those
why I
are
was really
Are we
admiring
talking about
yours.
the OJ edition, old one?
So mine's kind of the OJ edition.
Nice.
I believe yours is like an 88.
96.
Fuck.
This is the last year they made them.
Farther,
But they all look old.
Yeah.
Everybody
dude. But
thinks
yours is you did it right with the no camper top.
Oh, you got to take the top off.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that was yours?
Yeah.
So I saw it at the barbecue.
It was sick,
I
yeah.
saw you pulling up, and I was like, oh, man, that's a sick truck.
I just
What
take
are
it
the
off
tires
and
on there? 33s?
38.
38s.
38.
Yeah, dude, it's like a monster truck.
It's a baller. Yeah, we got a picture of that somewhere.
Yeah.
We're going to put it right here, Luke.
No, Luke doesn't do that. We
Yeah,
ask
put it
him
right
to do
here.
it, then he doesn't go back and do it.
Yeah, it makes me look like a fool on our
Jesus.
YouTube. Just here's the
Jeff's
photo.
holding his hand and nothing's there.
This is Tyler's truck.
Yeah.
Right there.
guys. Can you do that for us, Luke?
He's holding a full-size Bronco
Dude, I had
right there.
my old truck was lifted. And the only thing bad about a lifted truck is parking it.
His shit was really lifted.
If you have
Yeah.
like a parking lot that's completely full, you're like, God dang it, you know. Where do
Yeah.
you live at?
So I live in Lee Summit right now.
Yeah.
That's where the gym is too, correct?
Blue Springs.
Blue Springs. The thing about lifted trucks is trying to really park it in a parking garage is.
No,
You
can't-
just don't go in
You
them.
can't go into a parking garage for the
You
most
can't
part.
Can you
Get
go
a
through a
car wash?
drive-through?
Yeah.
Can you get?
Oh,
food
you
through a
also can't
drive-thru?
get a car wash. Another thing that you don't think about. You got to wash it by hand.
Oh, that's brutal. I mean, I guess I have a wrapped vehicle now,
Yeah, you
and you
gotta
can't go
spray.
through. Yeah, I got.
Why do people get wrapped vehicles?
Yeah, Jeff. Why
They're
do
pretty
they?
expensive.
They're just money
What's the
pit.
purpose,
He's
though?
talking about a money pit right there.
Well, you said money pit of a Bronco.
No, I said. Oh, did you say that?
He
It
said
is
money
a
pit.
money- oh, yeah.
So I have 2 wrapped vehicles actually.
Yeah,
so
I
good
was
question.
looking at that.
For one, I don't have one that has any kind of like advertising on it. So that's one reason why people get wrapped vehicles, right? To advertise their business. 2, changing up the paint without having to change up the paint.
Yeah.
As in, like, I can remove it anytime I want, change it up
That's what
anytime I
I thought.
want.
You could just
Listen,
pull it
listen to
off.
this story. So Jeff gets this Raptor. It's actually my Raptor, but that's a different story. But Jeff gets this Raptor.
It's in Kyle's name.
It's in my name. But he gets it. It's a black Raptor. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. And he's like, I'm gonna wrap it. I'm like, cool, man.
What
And
color?
No.
Also
I
black.
go to drop him off to pick it up, and he got it flat black. So it was black, and then he got it flat black. And I was
You
like,
just can't
dude,
go wrong with black.
but I was like, what are you doing? If you're gonna wrap it a different
Yeah.
color, than what you bought it with.
It's flat black versus gloss black. 2 totally different vibes.
Yeah.
And I put bronze wheels on it. Like
You're dope.
hey man, bronze wheels with a matte finish. It is.
Sometimes you just got to keep things stock all the way, like my truck.
Kyle, we've had a long ongoing battle between his GMC AT4, which is a very beautiful truck, right?
You felt the speed yesterday too, though.
Oh yeah, that V8, it'll get you. And versus the Raptor, he's like, come on, you guys would want my truck, right? Like talking to people, and everybody's like,
No.
man, I'd take the black one.
No.
Come on, dude. His
What
is a
color?
white stock,
White
stock AT4.
You got that V6. It's pretty nice. I got the 6.2 liter.
I got a
not great with what gas is doing right now. You feel that too.
Dude, it's $20 to get here.
I got a turbo in mine. I don't know. I guess we could race if you wanted to. If you wanted to,
all right.
to lose.
No,
I got the good off the line speed. You might beat me on the long.
that is true.
So, anyways, back to
Fitness.
back to fitness.
Oh yeah, fitness. That's what.
So you got a gym in Blue Springs. What originally got you into the fitness industry, man?
So my whole life, I think, how everybody's like, oh, I want to be a cop or a
Sure.
firefighter.
Sure.
It was weird. I was just like, man, I want to be a trainer.
Really?
And like, I was training my friends in high school. I didn't even know what I was doing, but it was one of those things where this would be a cool job.
Yeah.
And got certified, got all that stuff taken care of.
Was this all in the Kansas City area, or are you from?
So I grew up in Kearney, and then my first job was at a corporate gym in Independence. And then from there, you got all the certifications, like 7 or 8.
Was this gym in Independence open 24 hours?
24 hours.
That might be a key as to what the gym would have been. Okay.
Yeah, so
Dude, but real quick, isn't working out like when you're like 15, 14 years old, like the best times in your life? Because you're like, you know, you get the newbie gains going on. You're going home, you're crushing eggs. You know, you don't really know what you're doing, but it's like, it's all new. It's all
crushing
fun.
eggs? What is that?
What are you talking about? You didn't do, he did that. I know he did.
I never crushed an egg.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Like eating eggs. Sorry, not like actually crushing them.
Boiling
I was
eggs.
like,
no, I'd go home
What a
and
phrase.
I would literally like crush eggs into a glass and I'd drink them.
Yeah, you're just
and I'd drink the
you're
like
just-
worst tasting.
Yeah, just-
Can I
whey
cuss on
protein.
here?
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
Yeah, you're
fine.
just trying new shit. You're like, oh yeah, I read this.
Yeah.
You don't know anything.
Yeah.
yeah, dude. If
But-
I take this glutamine, are you serious, Kyle?
Oh gosh,
This
sorry.
your first time?
Sorry.
This your
Okay.
first time doing a podcast?
Sorry, that's Ian, the district manager from St. Louis, calling me. What a jerk.
So I thought the cool part was in high school, you know, you're doing deadlifts, hand clean, squats, and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck, can we do some curls, some cool shit? You see on
Yeah,
TV?
dude.
So it really started after, because I was like,
Were you doing for sports? Is that how you got into lifting at
Yeah,
first? 'Cause we
got
got
into
into like, football lifting is how we got into it.
football lifting, just, you know, taking weights classes as a blow off class.
Doing all the Olympic lifts and
all the
stuff.
Olympic lifts. And then, you know, you don't get to do preacher curls when you're doing that.
Hell no.
It's the same shit over and over again.
Yeah,
It works though.
Depending on how cool your coach is, for sure.
Yeah.
we had to go to we'd have like strength and conditioning during school for like sports, and then afterwards, after school, we'd go to the rec center to get our curls on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's what we would do
Curls.
too.
Absolutely.
We're like,
Yeah.
fuck it, we're getting curls in today.
Yeah. Did you grow up playing sports?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, if I gotta have like big arms and football pads. That's like my goal.
Yeah.
Whether I can hit somebody hard or not, like that's a secondary. I gotta
Yeah.
look good in pads.
The coaches were like, you ain't going to play football with your arm, curl biceps. And I was like, okay, all right. Well, I'll just put the curls on the back burner then.
Our
Yeah,
coach
we'll do
used to
this
say
later.
there's not a, well, this is a separate thing. He'd be like, there's not a bench press on the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
So if somebody's really strong, but then they sucked at football, he'd be
Yeah.
like, hey, that, you know, you need to be, the primary focus needs to be on football, not, you
Most
know,
of
getting
the
strong.
guys that were strong were pretty good, though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
In high
It
school, for
always
sure.
correlated.
In high school.
Yeah.
It always correlated.
Yeah.
So let's go back to your start now.
Yeah. So I got certified like 7 times because
Through what? Through what?
I've got WITS, ACE,
ISSM.
Yeah, so then-
in the beginning, it's all just like whatever's cheapest.
So there's like 3 good ones.
Mm-hmm.
But then this corporate gym was like, we'll pay you more the more certs you have. And they gave me a list of like,
You're like golf fitness professional.
So there's,
They make one, by the way, just so
There's
you guys
certs
know. You
like-
can get that.
yeah, there's certs you could just sign up right now and pass, and some gyms will qualify it.
Mm-hmm.
And got certified. There's only a gym that would give me a shot. So if you didn't know this,
And this was the gym that was open 24 hours.
24 hours. So if you do, for all you trainers that are aspiring trainers, you might be certified, you might train your friends, but you suck at training. You're terrible.
Yeah.
So like the first 6 months, I just fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Like nobody's ready to train. You think you're going to train athlete, this dude, you got 85-year-olds with a bad hip, and you're just doing wall swings with their foot.
Yeah.
So I got my feet under me, and then that kind of took off. And then I went to that same 24. I transferred out to New York and did really well for myself.
At another gym that was open 24 hours,
Yep.
but in New York.
Yep, I helped them open it, train the trainers. It's a lot of sales.
Yeah,
as you
sure.
probably know.
Sure. Selling training is more important than training for a lot
right.
of gyms.
People don't understand that that's, 50% of the job. Like, yeah, you're training people, but you also have to, do customer acquisition,
Yeah.
client acquisition. So
And just having a plan, like knowing what you're going to do with anybody, having an eating program, you should probably have. That's 80% of the goal.
yeah.
And, at 24 in Independence, the 24-hour gym, I did really well. So I transferred out there. And I think the thing that separates a lot of trainers is just I cared more. You know what I mean? Like I put it all. I remember the first session. I
You
missed.
knew you wanted to be a trainer. Everybody else is like, I think this might be what I want to
Yeah,
do.
they just come in and it's like, oh, trainers get girls. I was like, dude, I'm training.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't about that. I remember the first session I missed. I cried. I was like, oh my God, I missed this lady's session.
Yeah.
She's like, chill out, dude. I'm like, no, I take this shit serious.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get your feet under
Yeah,
you.
I'm supposed to be here for you. Yeah, dude, I respect it totally.
And, 10,000 sessions later at 24, you see the money that you make, and then you see the money they make, and then everybody gets that desire. Well, they're taking a lot of this.
Yeah. I feel like I'm doing a lot of work here. I feel like I'm not getting a lot.
Yeah, you could actually see, like, you get a cut of it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, fuck this. They're taking my money.
At a gym like that, let's talk about this because this is a humongous deal in the fitness industry. And tons of people have trained at different places. And, there's definitely pros and cons to all of the different formats that are out there. But let's talk about the different formats. That's cool because we want to educate while we're on this podcast. So the first one is what I would say is your classic big box gym training, which is the greatest for getting your feet wet, right? Because they're going to bring you a ton of clients, at least a lot of leads. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So far,
and that's what you need when you're new. It's just opportunity.
You need reps, right? And opportunities. And so, with that being said, what was the kind of split that you were getting then?
So this gym was real salesy. So if you sold it all up front, and we're talking
thousands
of dollars, you get 20% of the split. If you
of the sessions or of the upfront?
Of the upfront.
Got it.
Then you get a certain amount per session. But I mean, the real money is when you get that 20% on $3,000 package.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you break it, and it's like they're poor, man.
Most people aren't going to be able to just fork out $3,000 today.
It's like, we'll get them to buy it in full. And then if you can't, then you get 10%, which is a lot of money when you're 24 years old.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And they would go, you'd get 10% of this and you get this much per session. And this gym wasn't actually terrible, but it totals out to pretty much 60-40.
Right.
Like, you're getting 60, they're getting 40.
Yeah.
If you don't sell it all up front, 50-50.
Yeah.
And, you see that somebody, like in New York, they're paying $91 a session.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I only get 45? Like, what the hell? Like, I'm trying to... And then you can't train 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like, people think it's like an 8-hour job. Dude, by the time you've done 3 in a row, you're warped. And it's not fair to the fourth client. I've done 13 sessions in a day.
Yeah.
And it's like, people are like, oh, yeah, it's good money. So they kind of program it like, oh, you should do 8 sessions this day. It's like, this isn't an 8-hour day job. Like, there's not an hour where I sit and twiddle my fingers. Like, you have to be on. So...
And if you're not training, you're talking to new clients and talking to new potential clients, right?
Right. And that's where most people fail is like, you have to be there.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of tactics we would use. A great one was like the hi. So I'd sit at the front and say, hi, how's it going? Have a good workout. I didn't work the front desk. I was just a trainer.
Yeah.
But by the 6th time I said hi, we were kind of comfortable. Then I'd be like, what are you working on today? Oh, yeah, let me show you something. And it's not weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I say hi to you every day, dude.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to sell you the last 5 times.
The worst is when you get somebody new and you're like, go sell them something. Then you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I don't even know this person.
Yeah.
So getting rapport with everybody, being there, especially as a new trainer, it's like, just be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you're just dicking around.
Dude, it's so funny because here's the beauty of what you're talking about, okay? What you're saying is just the fucking truth.
Right.
Okay? And to 90% of people that say they want to be a trainer, you already lost them just from that.
Right.
Because that sounds like a lot of discomfort. I got to sit up here and say hi to a bunch of strangers and and they don't want to really talk to me. And it's like, well, now they don't because you have that attitude. You know what I mean? Like, they definitely don't because you don't want to talk to them.
And you're afraid of the, and I've had it happen.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking to me for, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, sorry.
And that
my
one
bad.
person can control the rest of your,
Everyone
that's why
takes the one person.
It's so important as a new trainer to like just be there, man. Because like I said, I say hi to you every day. We'll start up a small conversation, and I won't say a thing about training.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I got this, dude.
This dude's going to want
And it's like, not only that, it's like, I think I can help them because I think they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And that's the key right there.
Yeah.
So go ahead. So I was going to say, you got a guy who is going to quit. You got a young dude who's really, says he's passionate about fitness and stuff. And it's like, no, he feels really good about the results he got. right? So he's
Right.
passionate about fitness because of what self-belief he's created for himself because of fitness, right?
Right.
But he doesn't really believe in it for other people because then he has to get uncomfortable, right? Does that
Yeah.
make sense? And so for you, you're like, you know, you could be focusing on the people that were uncomfortable or were, you know, not invested in wanting to talk back with you. But somebody who, after 5 or 6 hellos and genuine greetings and saying, how's your day and so forth, they all of a sudden want to talk to you and you help them have a phenomenal transformation.
Right.
And it's all based on the fact that you weren't a pussy in the beginning.
And it's not awkward. Like, you get to know these people, and we've all done it. We're like, that dude's a douche, or she looks like a bitch. I don't want to talk to her. She's gonna be mean, whatever. Then you find out they're kind of cool.
They're great. Yeah.
And then I've had it where I'm just talking to them, and they ask me about training because I talk to them all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, hold up.
Yeah.
All right, no, bang, right there. It's sweet because 1, there's no awkwardness. Like 2, when you see him, you're like, oh, I kind of like this dude.
Yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of like this girl. She's fun.
And then you started stacking up transformations. You start stacking up, you know, people getting great results, telling their friends, and now you don't have to work nearly as hard at it.
Right.
Right.
I mean, transformations. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like, I see a lot of trainers that are like posting pictures of their 1-rep PR. Nobody gives a fuck about your 1-rep PR. What are you doing with your clients? And it's like, a lot of times trainers don't see this. That shit's intimidating.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go work out. Like, your client base isn't other dude that has a cool 1-rep PR. Your client base is people that need help.
Yeah. Yeah.
35-year-old moms that can't lose the baby weight. That's who I didn't want to work with, but I love working with now.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're financially stable. They need help. They're willing to learn. And you're not a meathead.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you care.
Yeah.
And your program works, number 1.
Right.
We
Program results is everything, and I think care is the other aspect of it. There's a lot of people who can produce results, and they actually, you know, can maintain a business because of their results, but they don't actually care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
If
there's-
it's
I think
like,
another thing we talk about, like trying to reduce obesity like a lot on this podcast because it's so high and it keeps climbing such, year over year. And I think as a trainer, just being able to assess when somebody comes to you and listening to what they're trying to do and actually like designing a program around what they're actually trying to do, they're not trying to be the best bencher in the,
Right.
in the gym. They're trying to, like you were saying, lose the baby weight. And so your program needs to be designed around that. And it needs to be designed to basically maximize, the efficiency of what you guys are doing during the time that you have them, and then teaching
Right.
them how to eat,
you're respecting their time. You
Right.
know, you're making sure you're getting the most.
But
out of
also,
it.
when you do that, you're creating better results, which those results, then they turn around, somebody says to them, hey, what have you been doing? She's like, oh, you got to, check out my trainer. He's been helping me,
Exactly.
losing weight. And then she's like, well, what's his name? And then you get a referral. People don't understand that's that loop of business, and also
Right.
when you get genuine recommendations from friends, it's way better than any marketing you could do, any, post you could make on social media. Genuine recommendations is it in business,
It's a referrals.
Yeah.
And it's a referrals based off how
Yeah.
your clients look.
Mm-hmm.
And your program not being crazy. Like, there's styles to it. Like, I remember there's an 80-year-old guy, and he was just like, fucking do it.
Yeah.
And
That's
his
awesome.
clients, I bought sessions from him. I buy sessions from trainers all the time.
Yeah.
I'm always down to work with somebody new, learn something. He'd get results.
Yeah.
He couldn't even lift his arms above his shoulders. He's an old jack dude.
Really?
And
What
it
was his
worked.
name? Something awesome like Jasper or Roy.
His name was Tim. He's good. He's a good dude. He just passed away. God rest his
Oh,
soul.
man.
from the Forge.
Was
he at
he's
Forge?
worked at a lot of different gyms.
Yeah, but I'm saying like just recently, like he was
Yeah.
still training.
Yeah.
Man,
and
dude.
like, his style.
R.I.P. pouring out for Tim.
Yeah. You know his style. It was just fucking do
Old
it.
school
Lift it,
old
lift
school
it,
badass.
Eat steak.
Yeah.
I didn't gain as much muscle when I ate chicken.
Yeah.
Like, did it make sense? No.
Yeah.
Does that work for everybody? No. But when you get people that it works for,
Yeah.
they'll send people of the same mindset,
To 'em.
with the same goals.
Yeah.
And,
Sure.
just get results.
Yeah, yeah.
And then be able to carry a conversation and get to know. Like, all my clients, it's tough to say they're not my friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of my best friends are my clients.
For sure.
And even if they're not training anymore, I still text them.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, what's the fun in working with somebody that you're not cool with?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, I got 75-year-old friends. I got 35-year-old. I got 21-year-old friends. And it's just getting to, like, really know people and care.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
it's crazy, man. We've been fortunate enough to meet some really phenomenal trainers in our lives. And there's a guy that I remember down in Springfield, Missouri, where he was saying how he was like 28 years old at the time. And I remember he said he's going up to Kansas City for like a Chiefs tailgate, like 3 hours, away. And I was like, oh, nice. Who you going with? It sounds like a blast. And he's like, oh, and he like mentioned them all. And I'm like, aren't those people like 60 years old? Yeah. And he was like, well, yeah, dude. But he's like, I train them and I train their kids, and they have, a suite at the Chiefs game, and they invited their trainer. And I'm like a family friend at this point.
You get invited to a lot of cool things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's awesome.
Well, think about it. I mean, you're spending an hour a day with them, 5 days a week or 3 days a week. It's like
it's a genuine relationship.
You actually create, bonds. And those bonds are basically, what also help to create leverage to where they don't want to let you down. You know what I'm saying? If you have a trainer and they're more than just your trainer, they're, they've become your friend, all of a sudden you can't skip a session with them.
Right.
Or maybe
it
might be the
makes
opposite.
Working out more enjoyable for them, man.
Yeah.
You got some people just don't like working out alone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like working out alone. I always got to have somebody to hang out with.
Yeah.
And somebody to hold you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 90% of training, it's not anything more than I just want to do it myself.
Yeah.
So I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but it's like there's better programs invented somewhere in the world. There's hyperbaric workouts that I can't do, but I'm working with these people because they need the accountability. So let's make this fucking fun.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the best I possibly can, give you everything I got.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to leave any stone unturned. And if you don't do it, it ain't my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll take, like at my gym, anybody that signs up, we literally go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
On Tuesday night, and I walk you down every single aisle.
It's awesome.
And I give you a ketone test, and it is on you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not going to be like, you failed me, you suck. But I'm like,
your choice.
If you want it, like, I have a wall of like 50 transformations.
Yeah.
In like the 2 years we've been open. More than that.
Yeah.
And it's like, as long as you know that I gave it your all and it's not my fault. Yeah. Because that used to bother me. People were like, your shit doesn't work. Mm-hmm. That's how I started going to the grocery store. I'm like, no, it works.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, that happens in our industry a lot. People put a jug of protein on the counter and be like, well, does it work? And I'm like, it's a jug of protein, man. Like, this has nothing to do with the jug of protein. It has everything to do with like what you're going to put into it. It's a tool. And also understand that it's, you have to take, when people do that to you, I'm always like, here, I don't want your responsibility. That's your responsibility, brother.
Right. And that used to bug me because I'd be like, I know it works. Yeah. So that's why
why is he coming at me like this? Yeah. Or why is she coming at me like this?
Or it's like, in your mind, you're like, I know they haven't been doing anything right. Yeah. But they can't take it. Yeah. And put it on themselves.
Well, the fitness.
And I don't mind if you say, I just fuck it up. Yeah. Or I don't want to do it, or I can't. Yeah. But you have those, and it used to just eat at me. And
I'd pass that responsibility to you.
Dude, I'd be like, there's something wrong with this person. Like, I'm like, no, there's not.
No, there's
That's
not.
why, like,
when you put your all into it like that, dude, when you put your absolute all into somebody and they come at you like it was your fault. It's the hardest pill there was to swallow ever in the industry.
And it gets in your head. And now with the program I have at my gym, everybody there, it's like, I know that'll never happen. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's cool for them because when you come in, you have every path. A lot of times it's like, well, if you want to, like, you go to a different gym. Well, if you want this eating program, you got to pay $199.99. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, what are the? Oh, okay. Yeah. Then it's like, okay, well, if you want this supplement here, $29.99. It's like, no, we're gonna lay it all out here. Yeah. And go to Supplement Superstore. I like this for that and this for this.
Good plug. Love it.
But my thing is like, it's not on me anymore because I don't want to hear it, and I don't have to hear it anymore. And I love it because it helps them get results. And a lot of people, you realize, have no idea how to eat clean.
No.
Sure.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, man.
It's good to get into, like, when people do that, it's good to kind of peel back the layers, and most of the time you can get people to really understand, like, hey, it's if you're in a calorie, fitness is relatively simple in a lot of different ways. If you're, in a calorie deficit, you're eating enough protein throughout the day, you're training hard, you're doing the cardio and the weight training that I've assigned you, then it's not a factor of whether or not you're going to get results. You're going to get results, right? And most people know, well, like on Saturday night I did eat a full pizza. Did you say I could do that? I can't remember. No,
Yeah.
I didn't say you could do.
But
a
you're
full
allowed to have a
pizza.
cheat meal, right? You know.
Yeah.
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you just had a cheat weekend.
But
people,
if you have a cheat weekend, don't be like,
Yeah.
hey, trainer,
yeah,
it ain't working.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like, hold on a second.
People know,
Yeah.
dude. And once you
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, you actually empathize with them and say, hey, listen, I'm human too. Like, you don't
Right.
think that I've ate a whole pizza in my life? Like, of course I have. You know what I'm saying? And
Every
it's like,
pizza's a personal
yeah,
pizza. You just got to believe in yourself.
So, you know, it's, but that also is like one of those things where you can break down those walls and get people to connect with you better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
once you kind of like break that down and say, hey, you know, we're not going to lie to each other. You know, we have this relationship. We're trying to get the best results. Here's the deal: is like, I can't make sure that you're going to get the best results if we don't have a relationship where you can be open with me about it. You know?
In the gym we had, it's a family, man. So
Yeah.
like, a lot of people are like, you eat pizza? Like, a lot of people think trainers don't eat pizza.
Yeah.
Like, you're eating that? I'm like, dude, I'm the fattest kid at heart you ever met in your
Yeah.
life. So when you eat the pizza, I want to know what kind you had and what beer you had with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can tell me
Yeah.
just as long as you're not saying, well,
I didn't.
This is your fault, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
yeah.
It's like, we're all cool and it's a family there.
Well, I think also it's important to like be squared away with like clients and be like, hey, listen, there's a balance between like, you know, getting results and then also having it be sustainable and be like, you know, having an enjoyable life. Like, I'm not telling you to never drink a beer again. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you have to understand that like everything has a consequence. So the more beers you have, the more pizza you have, the slower your results are going to be. So it's like how fast you want to get to the results that you want. And, you know, how much do you value like having things like beer and pizza?
Yeah. And that's a big thing is like a lot of people, they want to have like 10% body fat. And I'm like, that's a sacrifice to your life.
It's a lot.
Like, you know, a diet's as simple as input, output.
Yeah.
And there's you know, I'm down with anybody dieting any way they want to diet, but certain people have these certain goals and it's like, it's not possible. Like that is something you're not going to be able to maintain with any sort of lifestyle you have right now. You're going to have to sacrifice every meal
Do you want to be a
have.
different person? That's what you have to come down to.
So
'cause it's
realistic goals is always good.
eat the way you used to eat. You'll look the way you used to
Yeah.
look. That's what I try to tell people like right off the bat. Is like, hey, we could do this new diet that you want to do, and I can write this out for you. But like, understand that like, if you have this like timeline in mind where you're gonna go back,
Yeah.
to just know that like you're just gonna go back to looking the way you used to look.
Yeah.
You know? And they're like, that really hurts.
People
hard for
see
them.
3% body fat and they're like, oh, like first of all, that's your body's not at homeostasis, like a natural body fat.
Yeah.
When you're at 3%, it's not considered healthy.
No.
Your body is trying to hold on to every ounce of body fat. It's not maintainable to be 3% year round.
No.
And then you get these people that have never even done any sort of exercise program. That's what I want to look like. And I'm like, that dude sacrifices 2 years straight to get to that point.
And then also on top of that, he can't have a conversation, you know,
Right.
because his brain functions
Yeah,
not
and
great.
then they
like,
don't see him in the off season when he's up 40
oh yeah,
pounds.
yeah, that's true.
This is like, and this stretches over, you know, all industries. My girlfriend is, she's an esthetician and she works at a cosmetic surgery place. And she said like, you know, people who are, you know, morbidly obese coming in, they'll plop down a picture of like Kim Kardashian and be like, make me look like her. And I don't care what it costs. Like, I don't care what it costs. I want to look like her. And they're like, well, Kim had this like baseline of beauty to start. Like, just to start, you know?
Yeah.
So like, it's not like what you think, you know, and people, unfortunately, I feel like, you know, social media, et cetera, like it's very easy to think that you can make these kind of changes so quickly and they're somehow going to stick.
Right.
Right.
And something funny about, so my gym has a members page where we share recipes, we share stuff. And I actually posted a picture of Kim Kardashian, not like
Doctored up.
and wasn't what you would think
Flattering.
it is. It wasn't
Yeah.
flattering. And it was a side by side. So you get these expectations of this is what I should look like. And you just have to be realistic.
Yeah. The old
Yeah.
Instagram versus
And it's
reality.
like even Kim Kardashian doesn't look the way
Yeah.
you think she looks. The picture is kind of interesting. You could pull it up right there. I'm just kidding.
yeah, put the picture.
Well,
here.
dude, honestly, what they're doing, all the doctored photos, like if you look at the research of like, you know, girls, you know, age 14 to 21 right now, depression is like triple what it used to be. And they say a lot of that is due to basically unrealistic expectations that they're seeing through
Anything you see
comparing
in a
themselves to Fashion Nova girls and all this.
Yeah, like any
doctored
magazine photo, it's been through editing.
Oh, a ton.
You can, like my mom does graphic design for a living.
Yeah.
I've seen her clean stuff up you didn't think was possible.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's on a cover of a magazine.
Even
of course
we
it's going to
can-
be edited.
But that's the thing is like when we were kids. I mean, I don't know how old are you?
33.
33. Okay, I'm 34. He's 35. Old as fuck.
Stop, dude. I'm 34. I got a month, man. Let me be 34 for another month.
So we're in this spot where, dude, when we were kids, like, you know, for you to see these, you know, fitness bodies, et cetera, like you had to look through a magazine. Like you just had to. You could get on a website, but it wasn't just right in front of you, right?
Yeah.
And so what Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, I mean, any social media really is just put everything at the forefront where it's like you're just literally consuming so much negativity, so much comparison. It's just unbelievable. So I do not know how like we solve that with 14 to 21-year-old girls or guys for that matter. Like it's all just like, man,
it is kind of a
comparison is the thief of joy is the quote that I like to remind people. But
I remember getting those magazines and being like, Ronnie Coleman, do you think he's using steroids?
yeah,
I wonder what he's using.
I wonder if he's
You know,
really
you're
using
like,
that. I wonder if
he probably wouldn't use steroids.
yeah, he's probably just
He's
using
only
that, and it'll
300
explode.
pounds of shreddedness. That's
And
definitely
the funny
not
part
steroids.
is about steroid dudes is I smoke crack. I smoke about heroin, sure.
Yeah.
Steroids, never
Never.
done that. And it's like, why are you so adamant?
Yeah.
Like, let's just be real, dude. Like
Yeah.
your veins are popping out of your forehead.
Yeah, dude.
It's like they're so Ronnie, I'm natural. Like you see these, and it's just like that doesn't help either.
Ronnie came out.
Like, let's just be
Ronnie came out and he.
I think
he
they
did
should
an
all
interview
probably
that-
come out.
Yeah, it
Jake
was.
got a
Jay
natural
Cutler
thing.
or every WWE wrestler. You know
And
what I
now
mean?
you know what they
Just
do
stop.
now is they underplay how much they're doing. They're like, I'd do a couple months a year. I'd run, like just a small amount of this, and you're like,
Mark
bullshit.
McGuire, just some Andro from GNC.
Just
cream.
bullshit.
I was like, Barry Bonds, why'd your forehead get bigger?
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
Oh, dude.
No,
know,
his
man.
head.
You
grew
guys
like-
they were literally like a part of like the Balco like medical research. Like
Yeah.
they were literally like just the most cutting edge steroids ever made. Like,
There's probably still some cutting edge stuff they're trying to do. Like Rush is probably doing it. But you see these things,
Yeah.
and then they aren't honest with you.
No.
And it affects people. Like Kim Kardashian you're not getting the honest truth. Like a lot of people see Ronnie Coleman and they're like, if I just eat enough chicken breast, this is going to happen.
yeah.
shout yeah,
and then
buddy.
it's like
you know?
you're just literally signing up for failure.
Yeah.
And honesty is probably the key for me in fitness.
Yeah.
Is like, I'm not a jerk about it, but I'm like, hey, 2 to 3 pounds of weight loss a week is optimal.
Yeah.
1% body fat loss a month based off the American Council of Exercise is considered great success. So when you see the infomercial where it says, take these 3 pills and eat this bar and you're going to lose 25 pounds in 2 days, I'm like, not real.
Bullshit.
I'm sorry.
That's really cutting down. Thank God. I feel like our stores, at least, we've had an absolute astronomical amount of people that have cut down on coming in looking for a quick
The
fix.
expectations.
Yeah, I think
Quick
people
fix thing is starting to
realize-
really, it's starting to really come to fruition. That the quick fix scenario is starting to come where it's like those people are still buying like the $5 latest thing that Dr. Oz talked about at Walmart, like in the checkout aisle. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? I'll see how it's cheap enough to where they say it's worth it. If it doesn't work, I don't care. They just want to buy a little bottle of hope, right?
Exactly.
It's like $10-$20 for these things. And like, I have a theory on that with our supplement store. It's just like, hey, that customer isn't our customer yet. They haven't failed enough. Like where you go where people want results, right? Question that I wanted to get into back to just your journey, because dude, your journey is honestly so important for us to share. And I want to educate back to, you're at a spot where you're at a 24-hour gym. You're in a spot where you're training clients, you're acquiring new clients, and you're starting to make this a full-time gig, and you're starting to get your head above water, and you're getting confident enough to where you're saying, you know what? And by the way, 60-40 split for everybody listening is not unfair.
It's not bad at all.
It's a very, very fair.
I think it's important real quick to interject here and let everybody know. So if you've thought about opening a gym, understand that like gym dues usually just cover overhead. So like when people sign up and they pay $50 for a membership, that's basically just paying for
rent, equipment rental,
Yep.
if they lease equipment, etc.
And then the reason that gyms take personal training from you is because they are using that as their profit in the whole deal typically. And that's why you'll see gyms will sell random things. They'll sell supplements on top of it. They'll sell, they'll do CrossFit classes. They'll sell classes on top of it. All of that is a way of increasing profitability, because when you have a gym membership, you are not profitable typically to a big gym like that.
Yeah, from a membership standpoint alone, no one's making any money. Like not a lot, that's for sure.
It's not. Yeah.
That's why, and that's a fair cut right there. I've heard, far worse.
People don't
Far
realize
worse, yeah.
what commercial gym equipment costs.
Oh God, it's
No.
gross.
I got a workout set in my basement.
Yeah.
And then they tell me about it, and I'm like, that's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like that
You're like a
that
commercial treadmill's like $4,000.
That treadmill's worth your entire gym set.
Yes.
But so to get back to my story, so I moved back home because New York, it was just going from Kearney to hitting a toll road every 10 minutes. It just,
What area of New York were you in?
So I was training in Saddlebrook, and then the gym was in Saddlebrook Heights. It was kind of like a Korean community. We didn't really know that going in.
Sure.
I can't remember the name of it, but we thought we were going to ball out.
Yeah.
And then, New York, it's like a melting pot.
Yeah.
So this melting pot was North Korean melting pot. So we go
Specifically north.
there. North Korean melting pot. So we
Okay.
go there. We're like, man, we're about to make some bank, and I'm about to set this gym up. We're about to sell these sessions. We get there, and we immediately, I help them set it up. We immediately need translators. I'm trying to sell sessions like this because they don't even speak English.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then
Now
as
you
a
could
jo-
use
as a
Google
jo-
Translate.
as a joke, I'm pretty confident I could sell training.
Yeah.
Me and my friend would be like, I'm just going to sell training with Smile. And we would try it, and
would
might have
work.
done it once or twice.
Yeah.
But
you
it
just
was,
flex, and then you're just pointing at your bicep.
yeah.
They're like, oh, okay. All right.
And it was a really cool
Just push
experience.
the contract to them, point at your bicep,
Yep.
point at the contract.
Just lift your shirt up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a cool experience, but I was kind of over it.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot I love New York. I just went back a couple months ago, but I was just not my scene.
Yeah.
So when I came back, I went back to the gym I was working at, and I basically restarted my business in a month. Like at that gym, this is another thing about training. If you're good, it's like it is running your own business. So we had 7 or 8 trainers on the staff, and when you hit 75% of the budget yourself, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Right,
You kind of
right.
make the rules.
They're like, you canceled sessions to go to the Royals game?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Then here's another tricky part about corporate. So we talked about the 20%. Well, my boss needed to hit his budget,
Yeah.
and he said she needs to do this package now. And she said, if I wait till next week, I can pay it all in full and you get 20%. He said, you should do it for the team. It's like, so you want me to take this money? I can get it 20% next week. If she does the payment plan this week, I get 10%. He's like, yeah, you should do it for the team. I'm like, that's like $150.
That's bad leadership.
It's terrible leadership
No, that's good leadership
Yeah.
to them. And I'm like,
to them.
are you serious? Like
Yeah.
90% of trainers, when they start, aren't trainers after 6 months.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a financial, we'll get into that more. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So that's what you run into at corporate. And I was like,
The problem is you can ask as a leader, you can ask your employees
This
to do
is at a
something.
24-hour gym?
Yeah.
Or is this like a Sega?
it was a 24-hour gym. And I was like,
This is Sega.
I plopped down the calculator. I was like, I'll do it. Give me $150.
Yeah.
What? I'm like, you know that this is taking money from me. You have a salary. I'm broke.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of those things where you're like,
I love it. You tell me you just like outright said this straight to him. Yeah.
$150. He couldn't do anything because when you, I was in Independence. It is a very poor community for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I would break records selling training there.
Uh-huh.
And he couldn't do anything. When I left, they were $20,000 under training budget.
Oh, geez.
because I left with a friend. We decided we were going to go down there.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing when you're successful, but you run into things like that at corporate gyms, and then you're making 40%, so
Yeah, man.
60%.
Corporate culture is tough. It's really tough, and so you really got to just look at it as nothing but an opportunity. And I think what I value what you've told so far, Tyler, is that you knew you loved training, and that you knew that's what you wanted to do. And when it's what you want to do, you can go through all that adversity, and have like a bad boss, right? You can have a bad boss and be like, you know what, I don't have to work for you forever. I'm fine.
Yeah.
But a lot of people get ruined because they had this idea that they wanted to be a trainer. They wanted to be in the fitness industry. And unfortunately, guys, this is the truth. There's not a lot of great business people in fitness. There's not a lot of great. We're fortunate to know a lot of them. Here. And there's not a lot of great ones. And what I'm saying is that they just don't know what they don't know. They knew a lot about fitness. They didn't know a lot about business. And they're going to take one of their brightest, shiniest employees and tell them, hey, I'm going to take money from you to help me to their face.
And he was a decent guy. We liked each other. And I think he knew what he was doing. He just sounded like an idiot.
Right.
And he didn't it was kind of like one of those, let's just not talk about that anymore.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do it.
Right.
And the thing is after that's when I made
After
the transition.
Broke your trust. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, all right, I can do this. I've got all these clients. I'm going to do it. I'm going to booth rent.
Mm-hmm.
There comes another nightmare. So I booth rent. Number one, you never know where you're going to go, how it actually is the first time you go. So I started at this gym and it was bad. They didn't help. You don't realize the structure you get.
Yeah.
A lot of my clients came, and it took me 6 months to finally figure out, I got to get on Facebook. I got to market. This guy doesn't even care. He's just taking my money.
Yeah.
And then I was literally broke for 6 months trying to figure this out. I was like, I'm going to quit. I got friends that I need 401k. I don't have any of that shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I got a friend offered me a job at this paint striping company making $80K.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was the point in my life where I'm like, I'm about to not be able to pay my rent.
Yeah.
Do I love fitness?
Yeah.
And then I was like,
$80K sounds pretty good.
And at the time, you don't with fitness, you don't know when a client's going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You can project. But when I started that at that new gym, I thought it's all going straight to my pocket.
Yeah.
And a lot of clients, they had to drive 20 minutes the other way. That matters.
Yeah.
So I retained a lot, but then it slowly started dropping off, and I wasn't getting new business because this was a small gym. The gym owner didn't care about me. They don't care about anything.
Was this more like a boutique style gym?
No, it was renting space.
But I'm saying the space he's renting, is it is the gym you're working amongst other trainers, correct?
So there's it's an open gym. It's a key card. You can come in gym, but it's like a locally owned gym by a person. And, he's like, yeah, I could booth rent my gym right now if they wanted to. And that's kind of where you transition. There's different opportunities, different styles. But this one was pretty close. And I called the guy. I'm like, he had a couple trainers on his staff that he had actually been paying and giving clients. And I was like, hey, man, I just want to booth rent. And he's like, sure, come on up. And it was cool for him, extra $500 a month.
Yeah.
And
you pay him $500 and you just got to keep the rest?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever I sold. And I was confident I was going to
crush that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah.
No. So I lost 25% of my clients in the transition. And then, you're not getting new leads. There's not people, when people walk through the door here, they're going to his trainer that he's paying to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And it broke the bank.
Yeah.
So I finally got into marketing and actually going out, really just I either need to walk the streets and run up to people and try to sell training, make Facebook content, make social media content, or choose a different job.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
So it started to take off again. And then that gym sold to a different person. And this next person was essentially get the fuck out.
Yeah.
So a lot of gym owners are egomaniacs. Been at multiple gyms where there's a cutout of themselves at the front with their shirt off.
Wow.
Happens a lot. And I was like, oh,
you don't have that at your gym?
There's a dog. So I was booted And it's not one of those things where it's like, hey, no, that's not cool. I'm going to file this. It's like, well,
They just want to do their own thing, or was it? Did they get rid of all the trainers? Was there a personal matter there?
they wanted it. So I had I'd really established myself in this spot. So I had a lot of clients, a lot of people liked me, a lot of people there knew me. And I think it bugged them. Mm-hmm. And I could see his end. It's like, this is my gym. I just bought it. I want it to be my gym. And there were some disagreements about, you need to bill your clients this, you need to give me this, and stuff that wasn't fair.
Yeah.
And I was really cool with the dude, and then it just kind of turned into, I don't like you, and you can't do anything.
Mm-hmm. And it's like
there's
that, huh? Like
there's no hard feelings. Like, he was an ass to me. I don't know why he didn't like me, other than, he just wanted a different approach, different trainer. I don't know. So I scrapped, tried to move everybody to this other gym, and this whole time that I'm booth renting, it's like 5 years of booth renting, I'm barely making it. There's good months, there's bad months. And I know this isn't I'm going to be homeless. Like, I can't live like this. But I want to have family. I want to have money.
Yeah.
And I'm just holding on because I love it.
Yeah.
So at this time, I'd always been asking people, hey, I want to start a gym. Come invest with me. Everybody always says no. So I go to this next gym, very similar thing. And it is not set up to train people. It's like a big gym and it's separate rooms. There's group training. So you're in like a little corner trying to train people and giving this dude money. And I'm like, hey man, like that 3 o'clock hour, I can't really train anybody because all I hear is screaming and yelling. I'm in the corner of this room.
Yeah.
And it's like, a lot of my clients don't like that. Tough shit. So I left, and I had basically was looking for a spot, and I was fucking broke.
Yeah.
And I get a call, and my buddy just got out of rehab, and it's a client I work with that not a lot of people would work with, but dude, me and him are cool. Like, I trained him as hard as I train anybody. Mm-hmm. And he's had some problems, and he got out of rehab, and he's like, here's 15 grand. Can you do it? And I was like, dude, at the time, I was eating eggs with my dog. I couldn't afford anything.
Yeah.
I was splitting cartons of eggs. My gas was off. I didn't realize when your gas is off in the summer, it's cool. But in the winter,
It's
the heater don't work.
Yeah.
So I was sleeping next to a space heater. And
jeez.
I got the money, took the first spot, and I knew I couldn't make it much longer. And I lost my mind building this gym. It was all I did.
Yeah.
For like 18 hours a day. I did it in 22 days. Hung the mirrors myself, laid the carpet myself, painted the mural myself. I took a projector from Hobby Lobby to make this mural and returned it because I didn't have them. I needed the $60.
Incredible.
And I drove myself crazy over it. Like, I'd wake up at 3 a.m. and I'd be like, is this fucking going to work? What am I doing? And you lose your mind.
Yeah, man. No business partner there is
That's
so
smart.
tough.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
And he stayed out of it, and he was like, I know you can do it.
Yeah.
And he didn't bother me. I didn't ask for anything. I was borrowing money for dog food. And it finally opened, and I set it up where, it's everything I ever wanted. It's a program. It's just like training. It's team training, but it's a split and routine where you come in, your workouts are set. It's a group training gym, and it's based off frequency. So you're getting Tuesdays, Fridays are upper body, Wednesdays, Saturdays are cardio core, and then Mondays, Thursdays are legs. So it's an actual program if I was going to work with somebody 6 days a week. Mm-hmm. You're getting the frequency, which based off the literature yields the best results.
Yeah.
And I smash people, and I give them, I walk them in the store, and everybody loves it, and everybody gets results. And the people there matter to me because they're the reason I'm not homeless.
Yeah.
they're
you know
your
what I mean?
family, man. Yeah.
And it was close, but it worked out, and I just believed that it was going to work. At times, you just kind of get in your head when you're that close to being homeless, but
A lot of self-doubt.
yeah, and I'm not going to ask anybody for anything, and I just did it. Like I said, I was up till 4 a.m. laying carpet 5 nights in a row, and I was like, I only got this much. I had Walmart treadmills. So
Yeah.
I couldn't, 15 grand's nothing.
Right. No,
now it's got $30,000 worth of badass equipment for my clients to come in.
The thing that you went through as far as almost being homeless, it's almost like a prerequisite for like real success, because during that time, once you finally get your opportunity, it's like you're not going to squander it, you know?
Yeah, and you know what it's like on
Yeah.
when it's almost gone.
Mm-hmm.
You have no quit in you. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it helps. I think it helps people understand that it's like, hey, I've been there.
Yeah.
People are like, I gave you my money. It's like, oh, your payment didn't go through.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, story of my fucking life.
Yeah.
It's like, whenever you get it, just let me know and keep staying. Don't stop. Keep coming. I'll give you an extra week. It's like people understand, like, you've been through it before.
Yeah.
Like you see a lot of gym owners and it's like they came for money. They don't really know what they're doing. They just thought it was a cool thing to do. And it's like,
It's their second or third
I
business.
did this for 10 years
Yeah.
and was almost homeless and didn't stop because it's something I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the opportunity to help so many people at once in this style and format is like what I dreamed of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's yielding a lot of great results. And
Our employees love it, dude.
Yeah.
You killed them on Murph Day.
yeah,
From what I heard.
that was terrible.
Luke, didn't you do that? I shot it. Yeah, you wouldn't have actually done it. That's for sure.
Dude, I'm proud of you though, man. That's just awesome. It's such
Yeah.
an awesome story.
Yeah.
I think the big thing there is, like, you know, like I said, it's just when you love something like fitness and you love it enough, you'll find a way to make it work financially. You know, eventually, if you love something and you pour yourself into it enough, eventually it's going to come around. And, you know, I think the biggest decision in that was like turning down the 80 grand. I kind of went through the same thing at one point in my life. I had a lot more money looking at me, and you know, we obviously own retail stores, and you probably got the same shit that we got, which was basically like, oh, dude, you're still doing that training thing, you know?
Right.
Which we would get like, oh, are you still working in retail? You know?
And like
You work on that counter?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
you grow up around like my dad retired from the union. And he's like, training, that's not a real fucking job.
Yeah.
And it's like you meet certain people and they're like, they take it like there's certain trainers that have just made it look bad for everybody.
For sure.
Where it's like, no, like this is fucking what I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I help people.
Yeah.
Like
You're like, I'm an
like-
expert in this.
like
This is like,
come to me and I'll change your life.
yeah.
Like that's my goal. But then you get people who's like, oh yeah, like great part-time job. Like,
dude, that actually makes the struggle of when you're poor and you have no money, and then you compound that with somebody saying some stupid shit to you.
Yeah.
That's the hard stuff to like.
Yeah.
That's where most people quit.
Yeah.
That's where most people are like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go
And,
do
and
that.
the person that says some dumb shit to you, man, let's be real. It's typically someone that is a loved one. It is somebody that is really close to you.
Yeah, it's usually coming from a
yeah,
good
it's not like
place.
they don't
coming
care.
from a
They
place
just-
where they love. But
certain people are comfortable, like check in. I got my 401k coming this way. I got my retirement coming this way. Health insurance. And it's like, I had that moment and I was just like, I looked at myself and I was like, man, I'm going to have no soul.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be dead inside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make 80 grand, but I'm going to hate myself.
Yeah.
And I'm always wonder. And it would have been definitely easier to fucking just take the money and be
Yeah.
a slave. But I looked at myself and I was like, dude, I'm a fucking trainer. I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna make it work. I'll eat eggs with my dog. We'll split them because a bag of dog food's more expensive than a carton of eggs.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, and it worked out.
So, are you married right now?
No,
You have a girlfriend?
I do.
Yeah. Was she with you at the time?
No, I was by myself.
Were you?
I didn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't go out. I didn't like it was. People would think it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Like I didn't text people. I didn't talk to people
Just work.
for 22 days.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do anything but work, and I didn't feel like I was working.
Yeah.
Like I felt that it was like, fucking do this or die. Like I was just like, this is gonna be the best thing ever. It has to happen.
Yeah.
I would like somebody's like, chill out, dude. You need to go out. We'll buy.
the
I'm
first,
like, no, I
the,
can't go out.
your first guest, like your first member that was like a potential member, where they're
I was
like
freaking out.
they were like, Oh man, I have to sign up or this guy's gonna kill me.
Oh, when the first member came, I was
He's like, I built this gym for the last 20
I've
days.
actually been sleeping here the last 22 days. You're looking like
I
the dude from
slept there.
Castaway, just big old beard. Like you got Wilson over here because you've been hanging out by yourself for
It's a
22
kettlebell
days.
you named Wilson.
I was like, oh my God, a member.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh shit, what do I do?
Like, let me just put on my uniform real quick. Oh
like,
shit.
The first person that came to a class, I was like, oh my gosh, like we got to do this.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I have no money. Like, I'll give you free week.
That's a weird feeling though too. Like, you know, in 2016 and 17, that was like the lost years for me and him. We basically did the same thing, and then we worked open to close every day for like 2 years, or a year and a half or so. And it is a weird feeling, like you work so hard on something. We built out our original store too, and then you're like the night before, you're like, is anyone going to show up? Like,
Oh man, every store,
You know what I'm saying?
every store you
Isn't
get
that-
those, you get the creeps.
We had a
but then you
grand
get somebody
opening, too.
come in. You're like, dude, thank God. You're like, dude, thank you for coming so much.
Yeah, we're like set. You know, this has happened to you for sure. When you were like setting up, right? Like during those 22 days, we would be, setting up our POS system or computers, whatever, and people will just walk in, and we like to keep the lights on and the door open in case anybody wants to walk in, and we can just tell them we're getting ready to open, right? And we would have a handful of people walk in just from us being in there, and we're like, oh, thank God. Like it doesn't even count yet. But when
Please
it
come
does,
back.
Yeah. And when they come back, it's great. But did you have anybody that was just like walking by, obviously like watching you do the work, and they're like, I'll sign up.
What you doing here,
Yeah.
man?
Yeah.
So it didn't look like a gym because, like I said, like there's 2 sets of Walmart treadmills and then dumbbells.
Yeah.
And I built. So you know what a gym rig is? You all know
Yeah.
what a gym. Like I couldn't afford it, so I ordered the steel. A gym rig's basically like a pull-up set, and you could hook to your rack. I ordered it, and I measured it, and I painted it, and I hung it myself.
Nice.
It's good though.
Yeah.
And people thought it was a dog pound. Like, like what is this? And,
Because of the metal.
well, the name, and then it didn't look like.
Did anybody bring their dog there?
We had a guy sit out front with his dog for like 20 minutes. I've taken a couple calls of, do you know where my dog's at? And I'm like, huh? But they got a guy set out front. He's like, I thought this was a dog sitting close. But now it's got a lot more equipment in it.
Yeah.
People want to know what's going in, you know. But a lot of times when people figure out it's a fitness center, they're like, oh, fuck this.
Oh, I got to get out of here. I'm not trying to work out.
Yeah,
and
this
make
isn't
my
what I
life
thought it
better.
was.
Yeah.
We have people that walk in, like we sell every kind of supplement, right? We have vitamins, minerals, etc. But because we sell 5-pound containers of protein, you would be surprised. Like, our moms walk in and they see that we carry 5-pound jugs of protein, and they're like, oh, I thought this, what? I'm sorry.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
for weightlifters.
This is a bodybuilder store.
Oh my gosh.
And we're like, no, what were you looking for? Like, you wouldn't happen to carry vitamin C for you. I'm like 8 kinds, like right over here. I'm sorry that like the bottles that you were looking for were smaller.
It's little shit like that.
Yeah,
that
but you're like,
surprises
yeah,
you.
we had to take some notes. One time we were like, all right, we're gonna do this right. We're gonna make, I think this was our Olathe store, and we're like, all right, we're putting all the natural herbal vitamins, minerals right in the front, so they just smack you in the face when you walk in, and someone will like, dude, it was like day 1 of business in Olathe. And a customer walks in, and she's just like, "Oh, I think I'm in the wrong place." And I like sprint her down. "Excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry. What were you looking for?" She's like, "Oh, I think I don't think you guys have what I'm looking for." I'm like, "What were you looking for?" And she's like, "CoQ10." And I was like, "I have 5 different types of CoQ10. Why did you not?" I was like, "They were right in the front. How did you not see them?"
Just come back in.
I was like talking to her, like, I'm like, I own this business, and we legitimately made it just like this, so you would walk in and see the CoQ10 and not be scared away. And she's just like, yeah, I didn't see that. And I was like,
That's crazy.
In retail,
That's
most
crazy.
people walk
It's
in and they
little
look
things like
directly
that.
to the right. And so if you walk into our store and look directly to the right, you might see like a
10-pound thing of carbs.
a pre-workout named I Am God. They're like, oh God, this is not for me.
Yeah, I never thought of that. That's interesting. There's always little things when somebody does a certain craft where you're just like, wow,
Yeah,
that is kind of funny.
It is kind of crazy, man. Kind of crazy.
Interesting.
So tell us, what's the future of Dog Pound, man? Like, where are you guys at now? What do you see in the future as far as your business goes?
So I have been looking for a bigger spot. I want to build an actual gym,
Oh, nice.
and then put Dog Pound as a separate entity and offer.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
And have like
The group training is Dog Pound, and then you can use this for a general
Yep.
membership gym
Yep,
as well.
So do general memberships and have same style. Just basically move Dog Pound the training gym, the best training gym in the world, Monday through Saturday. You could do a class 5 a.m., 10 a.m., 4 p.m., or 6 p.m. We'll have that next to the gym, and then I can offer that to any of my members where it's like, hey, I want to do some cardio here, and I let them come to the gym now, but sometimes it's always busy.
Yeah.
And I want to offer anybody that, people that don't like doing group training.
Yeah.
Sure.
And even my members like, hey, class is over, but keep hitting it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You start solving problems for everybody, right?
Right.
I like that.
And it's just another source of income because it's a lot, like I said, it's a lot of overhead, and having a gym would be helpful because, for Dog Pound to run right now, it's got to be me.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're trying to basically scale.
Yeah.
And basically be able to pull yourself out of it.
Yeah.
Go from.
I'll work on the business versus in the business.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to grow when you're having to work with the day to day.
Yeah. And it's very difficult when you've been doing the classes for every single time, every single day, to bring somebody in and let them do it. And then everybody's like, that's not the same.
Yeah.
So I like doing the classes, but trying to grow is with the Dog Pound, like making another one, it's kind of going to be a difficult task. So I kind of want to do the gym thing.
Yeah.
I like it. And is it Dog Pound or is it Dog
Funny,
Pound?
you want to hear a funny story?
Yeah, I got to know.
So I'm building this gym, and I get this letter from Dog Pound
Oh no.
in
Cease and desist.
I don't even know if I should say their name. Can we say that? And they're basically like, this is after I painted the mural with the Hobby Lobby thing,
Yeah.
and I was up at night like painting, and a famous guy, he's famous. said,
I know exactly who this
yeah.
is.
I was
Say
like,
who it is.
and when I lived in New York, so the LLC was available with KC at the end, so I took it because I love my dog.
Yeah.
Me and my dog,
Is
we've
this,
been through it all.
Wait,
is this
wait.
Snoop Dogg?
Hey,
Or
for the listeners, what kind of dog?
Oh, Pitbull.
Beautiful.
She will
beautiful
always
pit
be at
bull.
the gym. Yep.
Yeah.
And her name is
Flexi.
Flexi.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
So, get to take my dog to work every day. She's always been there, sleeping next to the space heater with me. So I get this letter, or actually I get a message on Facebook from a famous person that owns a gym. And he's like, hey, dude, my attorneys that are on retainer said should probably change this. And I'm like, dude, I just did this, and I can't afford to, it's an extra, I can't change this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of like pretend it didn't happen. Apparently, when you LLC something, it doesn't mean anything because there's this thing called a federal trademark. So this person federally trademarked that original name,
Yeah.
DOG, and essentially anything containing those letters in that order, he is going to eliminate. It's because you will water their mark. So I don't think he cared. He was pretty nice to me.
Yeah.
But his attorney was persistent
No kidding.
as far as like my Facebook got shut down. And keep in mind, like, I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
And Facebook got shut down. Letters were coming, and I was like, dude, we're not training Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just here trying to help people, and I like my dog.
Yeah.
And so when you're going to start your business, if the name is available, make sure it's not federally trademarked. So it's like a 6-month legal process with attorneys where you
Right.
essentially, because I knew that gym existed,
Yeah.
but apparently they are making another one and they federally trademarked it. And it's a different logo, different everything.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
Wow.
And then COVID,
Oh, yeah. Throw that on there.
that was perfect timing too. I mean, there's, that you all know that when they say running a business, being a business owner is hard, and there's always something that comes up, or you work too much. Y'all know it's true.
Yeah.
Like there's always some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Lord, please help. Like, what? Why me?
Yeah.
Like, I had to get approval from his attorney. I met with an attorney, and he was basically like, you've got a case here. If I start writing on this piece of paper, it's $250 an hour. And I have no money. I was like, okay. He's like, and it's probably going to cost you $10,000 to find out if you're in the right. And I was like, cool. Guess we're going to change the name.
Yeah.
It's a Dog Pound now, and it's cooler anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
So
We have a couple questions we like to ask people when they're on the show. So I want to fire those at you. First one. Who do you feel like we should have on the podcast next? Who inspires you?
like locally or?
Yeah, if you have someone locally, it'd be awesome. You know, we try to keep it in Kansas City to give our Kansas City business owners and gym owners a platform.
Oh, gym owner wise, that's a tough one.
Or trainer.
Trainer. Could be an instructor, could be an athlete.
Oh, there's a trainer. His name's Thule. He's in Blue Springs. He's had his business for a while. He's a real Hawaiian, genuine dude. I think he's a pretty cool dude. I like him.
Thule's a cool name. What's the name of his business?
So it's I forget that so he trains out of a gym, but it's a weird name. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you guys the info. He's pretty interesting, pretty chill guy.
Well, Jeff likes Hawaiian bros, so
He's a cool dude.
I like the Hawaiian culture.
I've been trying to get him to come train at Dog Pound, but he just, he's just got his own thing going, and he's been in fitness forever.
nice.
Awesome.
He's a cool dude.
That's
Cool.
a great one. Thank you for the recommendation. The other one is you're a Kansas City guy, and we ask everybody where is the absolute best barbecue in Kansas City for you.
Oh man,
You got to pick
do
one.
wanna-
You only get one.
see barbecue. I just not. Barbecue's overrated.
Oh my god.
No, but if I had to pick,
Sacrilegious.
We've
If I had
actually
to
had
pick-
many people say that on the podcast
Yeah.
so far. They're like, "Yeah, I'm not into barbecue." I'm like, "You're from Kansas City, dude."
you could just play it safe. Go to Jack Stack. It's all good there.
Yeah, we love it
Yeah.
there.
We love that Lee Summit Jack Stack.
Yeah, that's where.
Out on the porch,
Yep.
Those
Play it safe.
fire-kissed wings, is what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They are the
Jack
shit.
Stack at the barbecue. It was
wings.
good.
Yeah, play it safe with that.
Yeah.
I like it, man. Well, we appreciate you coming on today.
Real
But
quick, what's your favorite cheat food then if you don't like barbecue all that much?
Dude, everything. Popcorn. There's certain, there's
Jesus
certain things. you
Christ.
miss.
No one saw that coming.
My wife
popcorn
will
is
my
a
wife will have
first-round pick?
popcorn for dinner
Every
sometimes. She'll be like, "I
freaking
want some
first,
popcorn."
You know how
first
it is.
round pick, popcorn.
Dude, you know how it is.
That was
There's
the
just
first thing out of your
there's
mouth.
certain things that you're just like you can't have, and you're
Yeah.
like, it's weird. It's like people
can't-
think pizza. It's like, no, I just want to go to the movies and have like 6 bags of popcorn.
Yeah.
Like a
Like
buttery,
that.
buttery.
Yeah,
as I
with
was gonna say,
butter-
they
like
make
real-
the Hun Cal popcorn.
Yeah.
You can go with that.
Top
Yeah.
Gun, some buttered popcorn.
I mean,
Let's go.
tacos. You missed
Yeah.
that, but. I mean, popcorn's one of those ones. It's like I just need to go. Like I've literally been thinking about it all week. So
Oh man, where you going? You gotta
the
have
movie theater.
What are you gonna see?
I don't know. This Top Gun thing.
It was good.
I haven't
saw
seen
it.
the first one. I don't know why people think that's crazy.
Bro.
The first
That
like,
is, first of all,
I'm
you just said
33. When did this shit come
in
out?
like two minutes.
When you were
said
born.
you don't like barbecue, and you said you'd never seen Top Gun.
I just
Are
don't
you
know.
American or what's going on here?
Dude, I need to watch Top Gun.
I'm just saying, dude. If you want to have some testosterone, you gotta watch Top Gun.
I'm just saying, if you before this
It'll
movie
give you a
came out,
boost.
before this movie came out, if you went
Yeah.
to your friend's house and he's watching Top Gun, what would you say?
I would say, like, dude, why didn't you call me sooner?
Oh my god!
I've seen Top Gun no less than 10
Like,
times.
what is? Did you steal your dad's collection? What's going on here?
Yeah, when I was in college, we went on spring break, right? And all my buddies were all like in different cars driving down to Florida. And as we're going down, we had these walkie-talkies, and of course, like we're all talking to each other. We're like, "Come in," And I was like, we have to have obviously call signs, so we started stealing Top Gun call signs immediately. And I was Hollywood. There was a Maverick. There was an Iceman. There was a Slider.
That's
like
cool.
these are all their helmet names. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're in the air. And so we just kept that going for like the entire spring break trip, which is hilarious. But Top Gun.
So I have to watch.
Top
it.
Gun's good, man. And the new one's
Do I
honestly
need to
pretty
watch
good.
the original first?
I don't really think you need to.
Really?
You get like
You're
you can
gonna
watch the second
understand.
one and understand it all.
Here's the thing about Top Gun. Awesome movie. Not like a super intricate plot. You'll understand it from
it's like really good cheese.
Yeah.
It's a cheesy ass movie, but it's really good cheese.
Yeah.
Like the last line. Whenever I videoed myself watching the new Top Gun in the theater, I was with my girlfriend, and she like of course appreciates none of the original Top Gun comparatively. But I was like, he's like, you could be my wingman anytime, and then he's like, bullshit. You could be mine. And like that's like the funny line at the end where like they're trying to be like sentimental, but it's just like two dudes that are fighter pilots. It's like, bullshit. You could be mine. And that was the whole movie right there.
So don't need to watch.
So you don't need to watch the original.
That's just ruined it all
That
for you.
Ozark. I tried to do that with Ozark, and
But
I
it's
was like, "What happened?"
Hey, that's a good one.
Ozark's good.
I had to watch the whole thing over again because it's just so much. I'm like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah.
I got 3 kids. Committing to watching something that long is like I can't
Towards
do it.
the end there, I
Yeah.
was like,
It's
"I'm
Coco
over this."
Melon.
Yeah.
Unless it's Coco Melon for you.
No. Yeah. Nah. Not really.
Ruth Langmore though. Total
She is-
inspiration.
yeah, Yeah, she is a tough one.
She's a
Feisty.
TikTok star now.
I think everybody knows a girl like Ruth Lamore.
That's true, especially if you're from the Midwest.
Yeah, I got a cousin like that. That's funny. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, whenever you open up Dog Pound 2 with the gym inside, like we're gonna have you back on. Sound like a plan?
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah,
we had
man.
a-
Thank you very
cool.
much.
We had a
for
blast
coming
with you.
on,
Thanks
dude.
for coming,
Hey,
man.
tell everybody where to find how to follow your gym.
So you can follow us on any social media. It's DawgpoundKC. If you want to try out a free class, get a 7-day free trial. Everything's laid out for you. It's like working with a trainer when you come in, except it's at an affordable price, and you pick and choose the times you want to come in, and everything's taken care of. We're going to check in with you every 4 weeks, make sure you execute, and literally walk you down how to be in the best shape of your life.
Awesome, man.
Look forward to it.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you.